The moment you've all been waiting for, and no, not the start of today's show, but the reunion of Nsync happened on Sunday. Also twerking.
We're going to talk about that, aren't we?
And Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Alright, so we got some on-the-spot comic reviews.
Yeah, we do.
When is it happening? Right now, on the spot!
On the spot. That's a good name.
Right now, on the spot. We just came from
reviews.
the store. We bought some books.
Our award-winning store.
That's right, and we are going to talk about the books.
It's all about the books.
Let's start with you, Garry. What book did you read today?
Books?
First book.
I read books.
What's your first book?
I eventually read 2 books, despite the fact that I am a slow reader.
Whatever.
I'm an enjoying reader.
Just continue onwards. People don't care how slow you read.
Aww.
Even though it's achingly
But
slow.
I try. I try.
It's alright.
Yes.
You read at a general pace.
Yay. First book I read this week was Thanos Rising, number 5. The finishing off part of the Thanos Rising miniseries by the wonderful Jason Aaron and Simone Bianchi.
I think it's
However
Bianchi.
you feel to pronounce his name. It's good. Fantastic little book. It's been a great 5-part series looking at the past of Thanos, basically from his birth and how he became who he is, the Mad Titan.
Yes.
It's a good, interesting little character study. It goes through how he first started out as kind of like a scientist on Titan with all the other immortal-esque beings of Titan.
Man, you're always spoiling stuff. Man.
I think if you know who Thanos is, you know he's an immortal from Titan. So
That's right.
I think these aren't spoilers.
That is true.
And it just looks into how he became who he is. His fascination with death, his like mass murdering of the entire civilization of Titan. Basically how he got to where he is to be able to do that. They've got the character of Death always makes an appearance with Thanos and kind of calls into question their relationship or not. And it's a good, interesting read. The art kind of fluctuates a little, which I was a little disappointed at. Bianchi is a fantastic artist, but the interiors throughout the book don't tend to have his flair. They do look a little rushed-ish.
I think they were trying to get the issue out on time.
I mean, it's a gorgeous-looking book, but towards the end of the book, you get a single splash page, which is almost like a secondary cover. A little bit jarring.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there I'm just showing Geoff. There's the quality of the rest of the interiors.
Yeah.
And then there's the splash page.
Who is... Well, don't spoil it.
Yeah.
I'll look at it later.
It's not on par with the work that Bianchi did with Jeff Loeb on the Wolverine
Yeah, that was
Origins or whatever the hell they called the Wolverine stories that him and Loeb did.
Mm-hmm.
That book, every interior panel looks as good as some of his splash pages and covers. This one, it dips a little bit throughout the book. Tends to be a little bit throughout the whole series as well. Not as jarring as it was.
It's still really good, though.
Still, as far compared to some of the other artists out there working today, it's just gorgeous work. He is one of my favorite artists. But the best page in the book is definitely the single splash page towards the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really see this as being a necessary read with what's coming up in the Marvel Universe.
No, it's a cash grab.
Yeah, I
That's
thought
what it
this
is.
would be explaining the events, like how the hell he got out of the Cancerverse.
Yeah,
no mention of that. Why he's doing what he's doing in Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, none of that. So, as far as being an essential read for what's going on in the Marvel Universe right now with Infinity, I don't think it's really a necessity to read. If you're a Thanos fan or a fan of either the creative team that's on the book, definitely pick it up.
That's why I bought it.
Exactly. I've become a huge fan of Jason Aaron since I started Wolverine and the X-Men. I just thought it was great.
Yeah.
I got those books in digital format first through the Marvel store, and then I liked them so much I rebought them, and then started getting them as print anyway.
Yeah.
So this team writing Thanos, it was a no-brainer for me. But as far as being integral to what's going on, you could probably bypass it and look for it in trades later on if you like. But enjoyable read, nice conclusion of the series. Obviously not a jumping on point since it's a miniseries.
No, but you could buy the trade.
Buy the trade. I definitely picked this up in the trade.
It's a good self-contained little story.
It is. If you're a fan of Thanos, you want a little bit of backstory on him going into Infinity. If you're a new reader coming into the Marvel Universe, go check out Thanos Rising. Yeah. Good little story. More of a mature read than the Avengers Infinity stuff. Yeah. So if you have any young readers that are big Avengers fans and they want to clamor for more stuff that's going on right now, maybe avoid Thanos Rising for them and just stick with the main Avengers books.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So.
Yeah. The second book I did this week that I just finished reading was another final part of a storyline. Part 6 of 6 of Trinity War, contained in Justice League number 23. Now, I was thinking about this before I started reading. I think the reason I've enjoyed Trinity War so good, because even though it is a 6-part story...
You enjoyed it so good, eh? Continue.
Shut up.
Garry.
Words are difficult. God damn it.
Alright, so you enjoyed it very muchly.
Yes, very well.
Alright.
There we go. The reason I enjoyed it so much is because it didn't feel like it's been dragged on too long. I know it's a 6-parter. You put this in the Marvel Universe, it takes 6 months, 8 months, depending upon delays to get through.
Yeah.
This was split between 3 titles.
Yeah,
so,
monthly titles.
Yeah, so we've got the story, and it's here, it's done, it's contained.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of my favorite things about this. I didn't have to wait 3/4 of a year.
And it was books you already purchased.
Yeah. I didn't have to wait nearly an entire year to get the storyline done. It was done, contained within the books, and we got it in a nice little package. So this is the conclusion of the Trinity War story. A little quick recap into Justice League, the history of the universe thing, history of the Justice League coming together. It's if you know anything about the past history of the DCU, you kind of know who the leader of the society is. You can piece it together. There's been hints and clues dropped all over the place. But it was kind of cool to see the groundwork being laid. It's kind of a fight issue. It builds up everything that's been going on in the last 5 issues, and it basically just degenerates into a brawl between all 3 leagues.
All right.
Which
I have a question for you though.
Okay.
I read the same issue.
Okay.
But I have not read anything previous.
Okay.
Why is Shazam wearing black in that?
He was corrupted by Pandora's box.
All right then.
So I don't know if they're gonna split him off or have him be Black Adam for a little bit. I don't know what's going on with that.
I thought Black Adam was a separate character though.
He was, but he was killed.
What?
Yeah.
Well, that's a spoiler.
It was like 3 months ago.
I know, but I didn't know.
I didn't tell you how. It's Black Adam.
I know.
I mean, he's magic.
He'll come back.
Yeah.
He'll come back.
It's fine.
All right.
I didn't tell you much details.
Cool.
But yeah. So he's been kind of corrupted by Pandora's box. So compared to the other 5 issues, the whole thing is basically a brawl issue. There's a couple of nice, cool splash pages. Even some vertical splash pages, which is kind of neat to see and interesting. We get a couple page and a bit retread of the Free Comic Book Day issue from like 2 years ago now, or a year ago, whenever the hell it was. But a little bit different. There's some art changes here and there, some storytelling changes. But overall, nice artwork from Evan Rice as usual.
Yes.
Just fantastic. I'm not a super big fan of his Batman though. I don't know what it is.
I don't like it.
I think it's the flatness of the cowl. I always kind of see that. I mean, if Batman's got to wear armor, which is clearly obvious, he needs armor of some variety. His head should be armored, and I think it looks a little too flat for my taste.
Yeah,
that's just my personal opinion. But there's some cool stuff that goes down with Cyborg. Kind of leaves his future with the team in question. We got some nice betrayals and flips and reversals going on in the story. So once the fighting kind of subsides, we do get some cool story beats. If anyone's been, on the internet in the last little while, they kind of know where the story is leading to, with the crime syndicate showing up for the first time in the New 52.
Yeah.
And they make their debut here. And I kind of liking how it's almost classic crime syndicate. Yeah. Especially costumes and everything, so it's kind of cool they've gone to that. Some of the cool little flourishes, like Superwoman has her lasso, but it's like barbed wire. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, nice couple of group shot to the Crime Syndicate, and now we've got them on the scene in the DC universe, and this apparently kicks right into Forever Evil. We've got our .1 issues starting up, I guess, next month, and
which I am not looking forward to.
The hologram 3D covers, whatever they are, look kind of cool. I know DC's had some issues with the ordering and the manufacturing of them, so I don't know how many issues I'm actually going to be able to pick up.
I know.
I'm not going out of my way to get the books that I don't normally get.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That'll be cool to have, but I'm not gonna increase my book purchasing. Although I guess I will with the different .1s or .2s and 3s or whatever's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, as a conclusion to Trinity War, I enjoyed this issue. Beautiful art. The writing, once the slugfest kind of subsided, little history of the DC universe, little setup of what's going on.
Cool.
Twists and turns and betrayals. Good little book. I enjoyed the whole setup, the whole Trinity War, and I'm looking forward to where DC takes it with their universe-wide crossover with Forever Evil.
Cool.
Good book. Definitely a good pickup this week.
Sounds good. All right.
What did you read, Jeffrey?
I read 3 books.
What?
And one of these reviews is going to be really short. I'm going to start with that one. Journey into Mystery, final issue, came out this week. For now. Probably going to be for a long time, I would think.
I don't know. I think it'll pop up in Phase 2.
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. Nope. They have so many other things they can do.
I could get rebranded as a Sif title.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. She's in the next issue of Thor, so I think she's getting folded back in.
Okay.
But lately, yes, it has been starring Sif, and this last storyline, there's only been 2, basically the first arc and the second arc before it's been canceled.
Yeah.
Has Sif and Beta Ray Bill.
Nice.
Love Beta Ray Bill. Always awesome. Everything he's in. Pretty much, yeah. I only bought the book out of pretty much loyalty to the title, because I love the title. And, I don't know, just through the years, it's always been good. I have, I had the previous volume, and I have this volume, and so on and so on. But anyways, it was okay. The writing was okay. The art was better. Just the stories through both arcs lacked punch. They're just kind of, frankly, boring. The second arc better than the first. So, do I recommend it trade-wise? I can't even remember if it's getting collected. I think it is. I can't really recommend the first arc too much. Unless you're a huge Sif fan or Catherine Immerman fan or whatever, buy it. But the second arc, I do recommend. Just because it's pretty cool with Beta Rebel. And that's that. Journey into Mysteries ends. That's the end of my review.
Done and
done.
I
also read Cap number... I forgot what number it was. 10 or 11. Anyways, the end of the Dimension Z storyline. Finally, after...
9 years of storytelling.
Too long. Like, way too long. So, yep, that ended. And,
yep,
pretty much, not a spoiler. You know they're gonna get out. But there are some twists. Twists at the end. So,
twists.
That's cool. Another bonus for me. John Romita Jr. off the art as of this issue as well. Woo! So next issue, fresh art team. Like it. Love it.
Do we know who's the art team? Do you?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't recall. They didn't really announce it either. So
this next issue is probably done by now. It's got to be solicited.
Oh, it was. But I don't recall.
Okay.
But it was a good ending, actually. A lot of action happened, and far more action actually than in the previous 8 or 9 issues, which is ridiculous.
That definitely feels like it got dragged out a little too long.
Yeah, it was about 5 or 6 issues too long.
Well, I was telling you before the show that I just finished reading the first 11 issues of Thor, the new Thor series, and it kind of all tied into one.
Yeah.
With Gore and
but
the God
that
Bomb.
didn't feel long.
It really didn't feel long at all.
Yeah. So this felt long. Really, really long. Thor, Jason Aaron.
Oh!
But Cap Recommender. Also very good, but I don't know what happened
Yeah.
here. Not that it was a terrible story or anything. It was just long.
Yeah.
That was the main thing. It was just too long. So anyways, good issue. I do definitely recommend it. Out of all the Cap issues I've read so far in this new Marvel Now reboot, it is probably the best one.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to next issue because I want to see what happens now with this new storyline, whatever it may or may not be. So definitely pick it up. It's a good... I would actually recommend it as a starting point because if you don't pick it up, you're going to miss some key points, let's call them. That's those twists I was talking about. So anyways, good book. Next and lastly, I read the newest issue of Aquaman. It was pretty fantastic, per usual.
That book can't not be awesome.
Can you imagine yourself saying that 10 years ago?
No.
Exactly. 5 years ago?
No.
But now holds true.
Yes, it does.
Aquaman is a pretty damn good book. Geoff Johns writing, Paul Pelletier on art at the moment.
Yeah.
Both fantastic. Great storyline. It's got that Ice King, first king of Atlantis guy, whatever in there. It's got some Mera history going on. Mera's awesome.
Mera
Always
is pretty
awesome.
good.
Yes. Actually, another twist in this book at the end, so you gotta be reading. If you haven't been reading, definitely go and pick up all the previous issues. They are all fantastic. Like, every book so far has been really
You can
good.
definitely tell that he has a love for that character.
Yeah.
And what was it? The next Justice League animated cartoon is based upon the first Justice League arc out of New 52.
Oh, that's
no
cool.
Aquaman.
Really?
Shazam replaces him.
Wow.
Like, doesn't Geoff Johns run DC now? How did he okay this movie and no Aquaman? He's
That's
getting his own
strange.
movie, but like,
Yeah.
he loves Aquaman. So I'm like, I love Shazam,
Yeah,
but
me too.
I don't know why they replaced Aquaman.
That's strange. So, yeah. It's the finale of this current story arc. It doesn't really tie anything up, because that's going to be in the next arc or two or whatever. But it's an ongoing saga type book, so definitely pick it up. Pick up all the previous issues, or pick up the trades or hardcovers that are out. Definitely worth your money. You cannot go wrong with Aquaman.
I hope he never leaves that book.
I know. I'm like, if he leaves that book, there's a possibility I leave that book. Possibility. Not guaranteed. Possibility.
It would have to be a pretty good writer taking over for me to stay on that book.
Exactly.
Because I don't want some guy that's like, yeah, I am a fan of the Aquaman.
I know, and I think that's the problem that book faces in the future. Is if he leaves, what happens?
That's okay. Give it to Jeff Lemire. Just give him every book.
Kind of like that happened with Hawkman. When he left Hawkman, pre-New 52.
Yeah. Just went to hell.
Just went downhill.
Yeah.
But before, when he was on it, the whole run was awesome.
Yeah.
So...
These are true things.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, those were my 3 books and Gary's 2 books on the spot, coming
Just
from
now.
the store just now. We just read them.
Yeah.
We just reviewed them.
Right in the studio. Right
That's
in our
right.
luscious studio.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which changes location sometimes, but it's always
It
good.
hasn't changed for a while.
Not for a little while. Not for a little while. That's true.
We might
So,
go on the road.
Yeah. So this week, no trade review. No trades to talk about, but we
are sad.
have a little trade talk though, because there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. I'm just gonna run through them quickly because they're awesome. But
and then after that, new segment of the show.
yeah. So Marvel and DC and even Archie actually have released some upcoming trade solicitations for the next year or so, or maybe about 6 months, something like that. Anyways, lots of omnibuses coming out. Lots of them.
Omnibus.
That's right. So DC has Grant Morrison's Animal Man omnibus coming out. Collects a sizable, if not the entire chunk of it, in a 1,200-page omnibus.
It'll weigh like, what, 50 pounds?
Probably. It should be pretty cool, though.
That's hefty.
Brightest Day omnibus, collecting the 24-issue series, if that even matters anymore, though.
Yeah, I don't...
Who's going to really pick it up?
They've been really iffy on where Brightest Day falls in.
I know. I haven't read it. I want to read it, but I don't know if I want to purchase it.
Will you get an omnibus to read it?
An omnibus.
I will dig out my single issues for you.
So there's that. JLA omnibus, but it's the original Justice League of America title from like 60s, right? So that's
debuts.
a big chunk of that collected, so that's kind of cool. I actually wouldn't mind getting that.
Yeah, that might be cool.
JSA omnibus from Geoff Johns' reboot in the 90s.
Ooh,
late 90s.
Like Stargirl debut era?
Yes.
Nice.
But one problem with the book,
no.
it starts on issue 6.
Oh, great. That's not going to be annoying for people with OCD.
Yes. So you don't get the Golden Age miniseries, which was an Elseworld, so you don't really need that. You don't get the one-shots that came out before the reboot, which were also all co-written by Johns, basically. And you don't get the first 5 issues, which was co-written by, I think, David Goyer.
Why? Why would they do this?
I think it's something to do with David Goyer. So...
Oh, yeah, he needs the money.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's number 6 to whatever. Pretty big chunk, plus, I think, a couple annuals or specials or whatever it is that's in there. Kind of annoying.
Yeah.
I really wanted it, but I don't want it starting at number 6.
That's frustrating.
I have all the trades, so I'm fine that way.
Yeah.
I'll suffice it with my trades. I will let it be. Anyways.
Oh, man.
They also have a new Absolute coming out. Absolute All-Star Batman and Robin.
How is that even possible?
It is possible, but I don't think it was finished, was it?
No!
Exactly. So, I kind of don't want that either.
How are you going to do an absolute on a story that's not done?
Just collect what there is, I guess.
So just throw it in a book, staple it together, charge $100 for it, and call it a day?
Yes, that was me growling.
You're angry about this, and you don't even like the book.
I know. So,
wow.
I think there is also a...
That is dumb.
Once upon a time, they did Absolute Superman Batman, I believe. The first run with Jeff Loeb and...
Nope, that just came out.
Ed McGuinness.
That just came out.
Did it just come out?
Yeah.
I believe they've solicited the second one as well.
I wouldn't mind getting that.
I know.
I saw some of the behind-the-scenes preview pages and that, like sketchbooks from McGuinness.
Yeah.
They look really good.
It looks pretty cool.
And the first, couple years of that book were solid work. Like Bat-Zaro and Bizarro coming down, and
so they are putting out a new edition of the softcover of the first volume as well.
That's cool.
For those who, want to kind of sample it.
The Absolutes being $100, they're a little out of my price range at the moment.
So are the omnibuses, right?
Yeah.
Omnibuys.
I definitely wait till sales at our comic book stores to take advantage of those.
Yeah.
Or wait until pre-orders come up on Amazon where they're 60% off.
I know.
So
there's one other trade. There's a ton of trades to look at, but one of note that I think is pretty cool. I have all the single issues, but I still actually am gonna buy it because it's awesome. Is back in the 90s, possibly early 2000s. Vertigo had 3 Jonah Hex miniseries. They're collecting them all into one volume. Pretty affordably priced.
Nice.
Definitely picking that up. Can't remember the title. I think it's Shadows Fall. Jonah Hex Shadows Fall. Or Shadows West. Maybe it's Shadows West, actually. Anyways, that stood out for me. That looks pretty awesome. All by Tim Truman and... oh, God. I forgot his name. Well, that doesn't happen on this show.
No. First time for everything, folks.
That's right. First time for everything.
Just
Anyways.
mine's like a steel trap.
There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge in this brain, Gary.
Yeah.
It's hard to contain it all. Hard to
format
contain.
that every once in a while.
I know. I must or something. But anyways, that's it for DC. Marvel's got a bunch. A new Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 2, which collects classic run by Claremont and Various.
Claremont plus Various.
Spider-Man by Roger Stern Omnibus, which I really actually want. They did all that Stacy stuff and storylines like Gwen Stacy and
that could be good.
Death of her father and various storylines. Anyways, classic run, great stuff. Punisher Max Omnibus by Jason Aaron coming out.
Ooh.
That's cool. So all 24-ish issues. I don't know if he did any one-shots. I cannot recall. So that's pretty cool. I already own all the hardcovers for that, so I'll probably skip that one.
I won't.
I know. I know. It's an excellent
My
run.
love affair with Jason Aaron continues
Definitely,
unabated.
I know. Definitely excellent run. pick it up in singles if you can even find them. Max Run has low print runs.
Yeah.
Same with the trades or the hardcovers. Low print runs.
Low print ones. Everyone buys them. They never reprint them.
So if you can find it, get it. If not, get the omnibus because it'll probably be your only chance other than digital.
Yeah.
Age of Apocalypse Companion Omnibus. Just a whole lot of
Useless
that
stuff
ties into it. So if you're a big AOA fan, that's the one for you. An Infinity Companion, not an omnibus, but it's 696 pages.
Like the AVX one they just put out.
Yeah, so it'll probably be like $75.
Yeah.
Not an omnibus technically, but visually it's pretty hefty. So, and that just collects various stuff as well.
Some of the Thunderbolt stuff.
Yeah. And... Golden Age Captain America Omnibus Volume 1. Kind of cool. Simon Kirby and all that stuff. I don't know if I'll get that one either. I don't mind it, but just not my thing, really. Here's a cool one, too. Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender Omnibus.
Oh, dear.
That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome.
Oh, dear. That's going to cost me some money.
Yeah, there's a lot of omnibuses, omnibus coming out that are going to require much money. Much money.
It's hard to get a job soon.
It's hard to pass some of these up. Like it's
the Remender one is going to be hard.
Even in these weren't on the list, but in December too, there's even two I really, really want. Is the Fantastic Four by John Byrne Volume 2 to go with my Volume 1.
Yep.
That would be amazing. And the Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman Volume 1 I really, really want. Even though I have the trades and everything.
Yeah.
Kind of really
just
want
nice
that
to have
too.
them on a shelf.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
So, and the one I'm pretty excited about, this is the last one, The Muppets Omnibus.
I saw that!
By Roger Landstridge. Looks awesome. It doesn't collect a couple of the story arcs because he didn't actually do the art on it. He only did the writing. But still really want that one. It's awesome. The Muppets. Can't wait. That cool. One will probably never ever be reprinted other than that.
Yeah.
So if you want it,
if you're a big Muppets fan, this might be your chance.
Yes, this will be your big chance. And then, you know what they should do? Muppet Babies. Well, 24 issues of that. Muppet Babies. That's right.
We have mentioned that a lot on this show.
I think we have. Yeah. So that's it for Trade Talk.
Excellent.
No trade review, but a lot of awesome
trade talk coming out. Good
awesome stuff. Collections. Like, and this isn't even like it's not even normal collections. These are just the big hefty hardcovers, basically.
You know, you telling me all these hardcovers coming out and all these omnibus, I'm kind of glad I didn't go to Fan Expo because I would have to have chosen between those two, and I think I'd rather have a couple of those omnibuses.
Yeah, me too, actually. Well, I don't know.
I still would really like to have gone.
Yeah.
Anyway, onward and upward, happier news, happier
Exactly.
Chat.
We have a new feature.
We
courtesy
do have a new
Garry.
Feature. I didn't rip this off from anywhere, despite what anyone may think.
He originally thought this up after viewing many, many websites.
Shut up! You f***ing don't let them look behind the curtain.
Whoa.
Don't let them see our creative process.
I know. I think unconsciously you may or may not have seen it.
Possibly. I'm clever.
But anyways, we're doing it.
New segment on the Pendulum. Panel of the Week. Week. I don't know how to do echo effects on this
That's
program.
pretty sweet.
So I figured I'll just manually do the echo effect. Yeah.
It just keeps going.
So, Geoff had no time to prep for this, seeing as I just sprung it on him all of an hour and a half ago when I first got here.
That's alright. You handled it there.
But you can think of one for next week. So, Panel of the Week looks back at the previous week's books that we had read in whatever format we read them in. And, just a panel that jumps out at us of being kind of badass, cool, awesome, neat storyline, nicely drawn, whatever. No criteria, just a panel that makes you go, huh, cool.
Cool.
My pick was from Justice League Dark from last week. John Constantine, as I've said before on the show, I like John Constantine, never read a ton of his stuff previous to the New 52, but I'm loving him in the New 52, which we've got to stop calling it that.
True.
We really
just
do.
the DCU.
Yeah, just knock that title off the cover.
Yeah, they gotta stop.
But going on to the Trinity War, I think it was part 5 of the Trinity War, everyone's like losing their minds over Pandora's box. They touch the thing and they get corrupted. They all go bad and evil. and the thing like tumbles towards Constantine. He picks it up, and everyone gasps like, "Oh crap! Constantine's got it. Now what? This guy's got like some pretty hardcore magic skills.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's probably one of the best, most powerful mages in the DCU." And he's like just holding it, and everyone's like, "Oh, now we're in trouble." He's like, "What? Nothing's going on. I'm fine." And everyone can't figure this out. And he's like, his line is something like, "You can't soil a pot that's already dirty." Like, the guy's so twisted and corrupted and just dark in his own mind that the box is like, "No, everything's fine here."
Yeah.
So he's just holding onto it. He's the only person that's been able to hold it and not be affected by it. So that was my badass panel of the week. Ooh,
that's
a
pretty
good
cool.
name. Yeah. So John Constantine, thumbs up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got some game news too?
Some comic news actually coming out of
All right,
Fan
comic
Expo.
news. Comic
Or
news.
posted around Fan Expo. We're getting a rebranding of our Justice League book.
I had
Justice
that.
League Canada.
Yeah.
After 60 years, we're getting a team.
Let's
Woo! So
just call it Justice League Alpha Flight.
shut
How
up.
about that? Why don't we just call it that? Because they're copiers.
I love how it's going to be called the JLC, which is like
That's not bad, actually.
our old stadium name here in town.
Oh, yeah.
I said that out loud at my computer when I first read it. I'm like, the JLC? Oh, I know that. So that's
Alright,
kind of cool.
So Justice League Canada.
Yeah, coming out of Forever Evil. Jeff Lemire writing it, so
It should be good.
excellent. And Adam Strange is going to be
I
a
do
Canadian.
like that.
He's going to be like some Canadian guy.
Yeah, but I just...
I know you want an Adam Strange mini. We talked about this. You wanted an ongoing series with Adam Strange.
I do.
You're getting an Adam Strange. He's going to be Canadian.
But I just don't know, is it going to have the planet Ran in it?
Yeah.
And is it going to have all this other
Is he
stuff?
going to go to Ran?
Or is he just going to be like, hey, I'm stuck in Canada?
Yeah.
Like,
damn it.
Like,
We'll see what happens. But I'm kind of psyched. That was probably one of the biggest news bits coming out of Fan Expo.
it was pretty much the only thing.
Yeah,
that came out of
it's not really a
Expo.
news mecca. It's more of a gathering conference thing. There
Yeah.
are some panels and everything, but
Yeah.
the Marvel Unlimited Plus subscription information dropped the other week. They've been charging out the butt for their service, which has been criticized for big gaps in their titles and
That's
6
true.
months gap in release dates. But now, $100 a month, $100 a year. Sorry, $100 a year. Yeah, it's like 13,000 books. They've increased the volume of books on there, and some of them aren't super old. Not a bad deal. I mean, you get as many as you want for this flat.
It's less than
fee.
$1 a day, so that's all right.
Exactly. And you get some cool things. Like if you go to New York Comic Con, there's members-only events. You get a variant cover of Age of Ultron number 10. You get like a membership card, discounts on their digital store and their retail store online.
That's cool.
And you get this cool little Age of Ultron short box to store your books in. So I guess when you get more alternate covers, you can store them in there. And the thing that piqued my interest, that if they had newer books on there, I probably do. There's an Ultron figure you get. It's the same Ultron figure that the Marvel Legends just came out with, but it's the gold. They did a special gold version, so it's like Ultron from the Age of Ultron that he was barely in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool figure. It looks really nice. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm hoping someone just puts it on eBay. I'll just buy it there. But if you're looking for a bulk subscription, say for a kid or a gift for somebody, this could be a cool thing. It's $100 a year. It's like a buffet of books. You can just download as many as you want.
Yeah.
I think it's cloud storage, so you don't have to worry about your device running out of space. And you get little bonuses here and there. So it's a good little deal.
That's pretty cool.
I'm liking it.
Not bad.
I wouldn't mind if this eventually expanded. I could see them eventually expanding this out to, say, $200 a year or $300 a year, and you get everything they print.
Yeah.
If they had like a new book level, so everything they put out every week, you get all of them.
That'd be all right.
That might get me to drop that money. I mean, I love my real books. I don't know if I'd eventually go all digital. We'll have to see. But
I probably never will.
I probably never will too, but it would be a nice option.
Yeah.
And another little bit of curious comic news. We have a new Lobo.
I didn't find that curious, because Lobo sucks. So,
Lobo,
not even really
Lobo's
worth
one of those
mentioning.
characters that is an interesting, because he's different.
It's
in
not
the DCU.
interesting. He's
But
not
the
different.
redesign looks so weird, and the thing is, nobody seems to know what's going on. I think it's the writer of the Lobo Forever Evil issue, says the art that was on the page doesn't match what the concept art, doesn't match the art or the cover that's been solicited, and doesn't match what he looks like in the book. And one of the other artists was like, yeah, he's a little bulkier than this. So no, everything that we've seen of this quote unquote new Lobo is different than the Rob Liefeld Lobo, which obviously because they want to distance themselves from Liefeld as much as possible.
Pretty much.
But everyone's like, no, he's different. No, he doesn't look like that. Well, what the hell's going on? Did we need a secondary Lobo origin? This guy apparently is the real...
You seem to be a big Lobo fan.
I enjoy he's one of those characters where it's like, he just shows up and like, okay... He's kind of got a cool visual. He's kind of a cool story. I like bounty hunter stories.
He's a albino space Wolverine. That's what he is.
True. With a cool bike.
I don't care for him
space bike.
at all. I don't like his space bike. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like his visuals. I don't like his character. I don't like
you love the new Twilight version of him then.
About him.
Well, nope. I just thought it was an interesting news bit how, again, a DC editorial has no idea
you were wrong!
Now we'll move on to the video games.
Yay! Video games.
Nothing new. No, I'm just kidding. Let's travel back.
Not a lot.
Let's travel back to 2008, folks. Woo! I am playing Dead Space on the Xbox 360.
Wow, I haven't heard that mentioned in a while.
I picked it up for like $12 in the summer when I was in Ottawa and got around to playing it this week. Holy crap, is it a good game. You remember how Resident Evil was a survival horror game, and then they started making them action games?
True.
This is a survival horror game. It has great atmosphere, visuals are fantastic, it has some creepy-ass lighting. The suit your main character, Isaac Clarke, wears, every once in a while you'll get a little bit of light on you that puts a shadow on the wall that looks like a bad guy, and it freaks you out. It's classic survival horror, and I love it. It takes place in space. Think of it, it's basically Event Horizon, the game.
That's alright.
Think of it like that.
I enjoyed Event Horizon.
You're not a big, bulky space marine who's a run-and-gun type. You're an engineer. Yeah. Your main weapon is a plasma cutter that you'd use for engineering tasks, like cutting pipes on a ship. So he's not a big, hardened space marine. He's a silent protagonist, at least in this one. So I have a hard time with that. I'm easier to accept that on certain characters, but on this guy, I'm like, nah, I think he'd be talking a little. So that's my cool. One little gripe with it. That and there's no 180-degree turn button. I think every survival horror game needs a 180-degree turn button. But cool. I've been playing the hell out of it. I'm about halfway through the game. You can find it for dirt cheap. It's fantastic. There's Dead Space 2, which is supposedly even better. 3 is more of a run-and-gun action game.
Are you going to find Dead Space 2?
I'm probably going to go to EB after the show and try and pick it up. But Dead Space 3 is more of a run-and-gun action game, and the series is kind of on life support right now because of EA's completely unrealistic sales goals.
Yeah.
So it might be the only one we get. I'm enjoying the heck out of the game. It's genuinely frightening. There's been a couple of moments in the game where I've and startled and like gotten the heart rate going. It's fun. It's got a cool combat system where you don't aim for the head or the body. You got to cut limbs off, and the plasma card goes through limbs. But the dudes keep coming after you. There's zero-G space fights. There's asteroid gun shooting. You got to like stop asteroids from slamming into the ship.
Oh, that's neat.
And it's a gorgeous-looking game for 2008 as well. It's still super impressive, and it's genuinely a scary game. Cool. So if you like survival horror, Resident Evil stuff, you like Event Horizon, definitely check out Dead Space.
All right.
On a somber note, I'd like to take a moment of silence for Microsoft Points. Thank God they're dead.
What's Microsoft Points?
How you used to buy stuff on Xbox Live.
Huh.
Instead of money, which, you know, every human being on the planet is familiar with and can figure out.
True.
The Microsoft Points system was terrible. You could buy them only in batches. Everything on the store was never in an even amount, so you always had to either overbuy points and then have points left over, which you then couldn't spend on anything else, and you had to buy more points.
Yeah.
And I hated them. They were stupid. Sony, right off the hop, did cash money on their store. Microsoft is doing that with the Xbox One, so there was a patch recently for the 360 that finally got rid of them and converted your points into money. So I had
sweet.
I had $7 left over, so I ended up buying Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for my 360, and I've been playing the heck out of that the last couple of days as well.
Well, we're $7.
Well, it was 14, but I used my points.
Oh, okay.
So, and so fun game, even better than the original version, which I did buy on my PS3, but I can't play. playing as Nova and Ghost Rider and Iron Fist, and
That's awesome.
it's a fun fighting game. I
Cool.
think it's great. So,
R.I.P. Microsoft points. R.I.P.
Burn in hell. Never come back. I watched Two Towers the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's it for your classic game news.
That's
then.
classic game news
classic
with
game
a
news
sprinkling
this
of new.
Sprinkling of like barely new,
But good new.
good news.
With all the crap we've been dealing with, the new systems, console launch, no release dates, all this BS, it's good to have some good game news.
Yeah.
Perhaps next week, Dead Space 2 talk.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dead Space, did you watch the MTV VMA Awards?
No, and neither did anybody
How
else.
was that for a segue?
That was brilliant. I had a really sick Dead Space joke to go along with what you just segued to, but I'm not going to say it.
All right. If it's that, you kind of, you better not.
I better not.
Maybe
Look for it in the outtakes video
Maybe.
coming soon.
The show was, well, it was MTV. You know, what can you expect, basically. They always try to outdo themselves from year after year. And they succeeded. Got people talking, of course, on pretty much every site known to man. Every Twitter account, every Tumblr account, every Formspring, every Facebook page, everything.
But no one really cared about Nsync.
What are you talking about? Everyone cared about Nsync.
How many headlines or that did you realistically see about Nsync as the headline
Actually, I read
of that
about
show?
3 articles on it.
Right. What was the main thing about that show?
Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll get to the main thing.
Oh, good.
But we'll do the Nsync thing first.
Oh, good.
Okay, so cool. It was cool kind of to see them back, you know, because it's been 10 years. Not that I was ever a huge fan or anything.
You loved them.
But, no, the wife loves them. But, anyways, it was hyped as a huge reunion. Well, let's do, here's a tiny bit of background. It was all Justin's idea, right? Because Justin knew he was getting the award, so he was planning his performance. And he's like, hey, let's get the band back together, you know.
Band is in huge quotes. The biggest quotes possible.
He's like, let's get the band back together. We'll do a performance, you know, whatever medley of such and such, right? Something like 4 or 5 songs, whatever. So anyways, showtime's coming up, and he's like, let's cut this out. So they did. And then it gets closer, and he's like, let's cut this out. And they did.
Let's just have me go on stage.
That was pretty much what happened. So if you hadn't watched it...
I honestly thought that was a gag I just did.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah. So Justin starts off doing his medley, introduced by Jimmy Fallon. Doing all his hits, right? I don't know, he did like, I don't even know, 4 or 5 at first. Then segues into the Nsync thing. And so they come up, they do like 1 line, maybe 2 tops from the song Gone. Then they go into... Oh crap, I can't even remember what the song is called.
Awesome!
But anyways, they go into the next song, maybe 4 lines. Then the next song, which was Bye Bye Bye, maybe 3, 4 lines. Literally lasted like 1 minute and 30 seconds maximum. Like maximum.
Fantastic.
It was pretty embarrassing, actually. Not to watch it and not to whatever, but to be the other members of Nsync. Right? You could see that they were excited to be there. Like, you could see it. Right? You can see their...
They were more excited to be there than the audience was.
They were... You could see, like, they're dying to go on tour. They're dying to be a band again. Like, they're
dying of starvation.
They want it
no
more
money.
than anything. But...
JT
it's never gonna happen. Yeah. Like, it's never gonna happen in their wildest dreams. So then, after that minute 30 or whatever it was, boom, back to Justin, finishes up his medley for another 4 or 5 songs, whatever it is. Goodbye, Nsync.
Yeah.
Although, funny, when you cut to the audience, like, Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift are, like, dancing a furious friggin' storm. Like, literally, like,
I think it was a gif of
Ryan
shakes. Gosling dancing as well.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, they were just, like,
it's just a
freaking
shame
out.
they were totally overshadowed, despite the fact they had a weak performance.
Yeah, no. So, but that wasn't the main news.
Yeah.
It was Garry's favorite
Let's
performer.
talk about this for 17 seconds, because I don't want to hear about this anymore.
I'll save it for last. Let's go to Lady Gaga.
What?
The
Why?
opening.
Who cares?
Actually, the parents, whatever people in the States, that big group there, Parents Coalition, whatever the heck they're called.
Yeah.
Signing a big petition against Lady Gaga and the other thing.
Okay.
But because Lady Gaga, she performed, right? Did her usual stupid costume stuff, which was just stupid. But eventually ended up in clamshell bikini and thong with bare butt. So, I didn't find anything actually wrong with that, because pretty much that's all she wears nowadays.
Yeah.
And a lot of stars, that's pretty much all they wear nowadays. So just continue.
It's called The Beach.
It seems kind of normal now.
Yeah.
So I had no problem.
You see Adele come out in a dress. I
know, eh?
Oh, what? Sorry, what was I talking about?
She's
Adele
dressed.
at the MTV Awards.
So then,
yeah, right.
But the other big complaint by everyone in the Western Hemisphere.
Really? Just the Western Hemisphere?
Okay, let's call it worldwide, because it was worldwide. But Miley Cyrus and the lizard tongue.
She has a learning disability, right?
She must.
Like that, what?
We
did the video review of that Barely music video.
Yeah.
I thought what is her problem?
I know.
Could she not find pants in her size?
Here's the thing, though. It worked
for
her. No. It worked because her song was #1 on iTunes after that performance.
It's called Trainwreck Syndrome.
Probably.
It's the whole thing was like I didn't find it offensive because it wasn't directed at me.
I didn't find it offensive.
I don't understand
either.
how people can be offended by. I'm sorry, it's not aimed at being offensive to you. So move on. It was just dumb.
Yeah, it was terrible.
She has no. It's not talent.
She has no talent.
Yeah, she could be a good singer, but it's I don't care. Her like chicken butt outfit thing that was like 3 sizes too tight.
Her nude flesh colored bikini.
Yeah, it was
outfit.
just dumb. Like, the MTV Awards are pretty much a dead thing anyway.
Pretty much.
I would not be surprised if it was, like, not around next year.
Oh, it'll be around, Garry. It'll be around.
Oh, God.
But, it was a pretty terrible performance.
Embarrassing.
There were hints of, like, possibly singing talent coming through during her song. Possibly.
Yeah.
But it was just so
ridiculous.
Terrible. Like,
over the top.
Terrible. And
let's just not give it any more coverage.
She was going for the shock value, and it worked. Everyone was shocked.
But like you've stated before on this show, how far can you possibly go?
Yeah.
Like...
that far.
What's next? Like, you can't keep going. You can't keep turning the knob up.
I don't know where she could go from this, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Unless, release a new single and do something other equally stupid. Maybe she'll wear a secondhand meat suit. Secondhand meat suit. Alright, that's it.
That's just done.
Enough of the VMAs. It was an interesting show, let's call it. Interesting show.
Now we're going to move on to Interweb Recap of the Week. My favorite stories of the week. You are going to hate a few of them.
Do you think so?
I know you can hate a few of them.
All
we
right.
just talked about your hatred for one of my news items on the way back from the store.
Lobo?
No. We didn't talk about Lobo.
All right, go ahead.
So, my favorite news story, this has nothing to do with comics or anything, but my favorite book of all time, novel, is Catcher in the Rye. We're getting 5 new J.D. Salinger novels.
Oh, yeah.
They've gone through all of his manuscripts. There's a will that was explaining what to do with his works, and they've apparently worked it out. So I think starting next year, I'm not sure the rollout schedule, but we're getting 5 new J.D. Salinger novels.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, awesome! I am psyched about that.
If they're good.
Again,
it's hard to say,
we talked about before, even if they're not good, they're new works from a classic American writer.
That's true.
So it's going to be fantastic. I got to give a big thanks to my grade 11 English teacher for bringing Catcher in the Rye into the school. So let's read. They were her copies that she had bought for us.
Oh, yeah.
Because we weren't supposed to read it in my high school. But I've read that book must be like 10 times in my life.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I'm so happy to get some new works.
That's cool.
Todd McFarlane did an interview recently. There you go. That's what I was looking for. He keeps saying we're getting a new
Spawn movie. Yeah.
He keeps saying we've got
it's going to be a horror movie this time.
Yeah, going to be a horror movie. I remember an interview we did a while back. It was like he wants to do it where Spawn is basically the shark from Jaws equivalent. Where it's called Spawn, but we don't see him that much. He's kind of the force in the movie that brings things together, which I think will be a very cool take on it. And he's been saying we've got an Oscar-winning this, an Oscar-winning that. Jamie Foxx has been saying he wants to play Spawn.
I will look for it in the 99-cent discount bin when it comes out.
If Jamie Foxx does it and we get a good writer and director, I think it could be a cool movie. Especially if it's done the style that Todd McFarlane has wanted it to be done. If Spawn is the background player and like a murder mystery and Sam and Twitch are the main focus, I think it'd be cool. I
am shaking my head constantly.
I see you.
People.
Your head is gonna fly off your neck if you shake it any harder.
Yeah, I can't. I got a sore neck, so
I'm
shaking as much as I can.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be cool. Despite my non-belief, it looks like Vin Diesel is getting closer and closer to playing Groot. His deal could be done soon, and he might be doing the mocap, which could be kind of cool.
That'd be alright.
Yeah. And despite what many sites are claiming, Bryan Cranston has not been cast as Lex Luthor.
No, he's not. Although someone did a fake trailer already.
The fake trailer was kind of cool. I've been seeing news articles all over the net. Bryan Cranston cast as Lex Luthor. And then, like, you click on it, and, like, is the rumor going around? Like, don't do this shit. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, this is not news or journalism. It's sensationalism.
Yeah.
Like, I am by far not a news journalist. Yeah, I'm not a news journalist or any type of reporter.
I am.
But I'm not a liar. I'm not going to say, hey, guess what? Bryan Cranston's Lex Luthor. And then 5 minutes later, maybe. He's not. I think he's a little old to play Lex in this movie.
Speaking of movie news, there was a sequel announced. I don't know if you heard about it. Actually, it's a threequel to the prequel.
Oh, no. Shut up.
You saw that?
Shut up.
It's going to be amazing.
Where is it? Is it on here? Is it in here?
Scorpion King 4.
Let's see.
I do not own that movie.
Okay. I see The Mummy and The Mummy Returns.
I think I have Scorpion King.
All right.
But,
Why?
Scorpion King 2, terrible. 3, terrible. Why do we have 4 coming out?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Oh, God.
So it's a third sequel
to a spin-off of a sequel.
Of a prequel to the sequel.
Which was a remake of an original from the 30s.
Yeah, it's confusing.
You need a timeline map to
But anyways,
no. Rutger Hauer's in it.
I know!
What the hell?
There's a couple of big names in that movie.
Again, these are the second biggest air quotes we've used in the episode today.
So yeah, Scorpion King 4! Look for it in your direct-to-DVD/Blu-ray store purchasing aisle.
Look for it on demand on Netflix in the next 5 months.
It'll be a huge seller.
Yep.
It's gonna be awesome. Scorpion King 4. Yeah. Can't wait.
Okay. What
else you got?
Do you have anything?
I got one more thing.
Alright.
Did you watch this last series of Luther there?
Yeah.
It was awesome, wasn't it?
Oh, God,
4 episodes of glory.
Of, like, the best TV ever that's not Sherlock.
But
I heard this.
It is the last series of Luther. Literally.
Maybe.
Nope, literally the last series of Luther. They've announced it multiple times now.
I still think
it will be doing a movie, though.
Movie prequel?
They want to do a movie.
Yes!
Which is cool.
Yes!
It's going to have Idris Elba in it. It's going to be awesome.
So hype!
But, the show's creators say, that's it. No more series. I guess he's just got too busy a schedule or whatever.
I can kind of. The BBC has a weird shooting schedule, and with his star rocketing,
it's not a weird shooting schedule. It's
weird schedule when they do
for
the
that
shoots.
Particular series. It's up to him when he wants to do it.
Yeah,
when he's got a hole in his schedule. For other series, they're pretty much scheduled as they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the last one.
I'd love to see more Luther.
I know. It was fantastic. If you can find all 3 series, I don't know if they're on Netflix.
They are on Netflix.
Well, there you go. Watch them on Netflix.
You will marathon them.
iTunes them, or
get them.
Purchase them.
You want a fun weekend? Luther and Sherlock.
Whatever you want. Watch Luther Series 1, 2, and 3.
Idris Elba is just amazing.
They are fantastic.
Brilliant.
It is one of the best procedural dramas I've seen in like the last 10 years.
I think it's even in a category above procedural dramas. It's so much better than that.
I know. It's really good.
It's just
but yeah.
Everyone in the show is fantastic.
It is now finished. Hopefully we get the movie they're talking about right now. I'm sure we will.
I will kickstart that if need be.
Elba loves the character.
Give money. I don't care.
Creators love the character. Everyone loves the character. So,
can you imagine a Luther Sherlock crossover?
I don't think that would ever happen.
Oh my god!
In a million years.
There's nothing saying they can't take place in the same universe.
I know. There's nothing to say.
Both set in London.
But it'll never happen.
It'd be so good.
But anyways, yes. So that's it. Luther, awesome. Watch it.
Watch it and love
but
it.
That's
Nothing else happened. We gotta talk about it.
Yep, we talked about Gary's favorite awards show.
This show is going long, so let's wrap this up. Let's talk about it. Let's get it done. Let's get it out of the way. Ben Affleck cast as our new Batman.
That's
good or
right.
bad? What do you think? Go.
I think people on the internet are stupid.
They're going way overboard.
But you know what? I'm gonna wait and watch the movie. That's the only way you can tell.
What's your problem, idiot? Form your assumptions now.
I know.
My biggest problem is the detractors and the supporters are both going in the wrong direction. The detractors are like, he did Geely and Daredevil, it's gonna be crap. Have you seen the work he's done lately? The Town,
like the last
Argo.
5 years.
Yeah, he is not the same guy that was in Daredevil and Geely.
No.
I loved Argo. I thought it was a good little film. I don't think it was the be-all and end-all of filmmaking that people made it out to be.
Though.
It was a solid quality film.
Yeah.
He's a better director than he's an actor. I don't think that's an argument, but he's still a good actor. He's done some really good movies. He's done some really bad movies. So has everybody. So people saying that because of those movies, he's going to be a crap Batman. No. People saying, people jump into conclusions saying he's going to be bad. Look at Heath Ledger, cast as the Joker. It's not. They're stretching.
You gotta wait to see it. That's the only way.
My biggest problem, my only problem with this, is they've now overshadowed their main character. For whatever this movie is, it is still a Superman sequel. Henry Cavill is the main character in this movie. Not only are they having Batman show up because they weren't, I guess, happy with Superman or Man of Steel's performance, they're having Batman come in. They've now cast a bigger name than the actor playing Superman. Henry Cavill, I think, did a great job. He might have needed better material to work with. As much as I love Man of Steel, Henry Cavill was great. They give him a better movie to be in, he could be fantastic as Superman. And he put a lot on the line in that movie because look what it's done to other people's careers.
True.
But now they brought in a bigger name to be essentially the second tier character in this movie. As much as people don't want to admit that, he should be second tier in the movie because it's a Man of Steel movie. Yes. It's Superman's sequel. And casting a bigger name is a bad mistake because now it draws away from the main character.
True.
That was my only problem.
They could offset that. Instead of Bryan Cranston as Luther, I say we start a formal petition, Matt Damon.
Shut up.
Matt Damon as Lex Luthor. It starts here, folks.
Don't start
right here.
Oh,
Matt Damon, Lex Luthor.
I've had this conversation with people about how my theory of overshadow casting, and they always cast the big names as the villains. That's different.
Yeah,
the villains are always the big draw for Batman movies because they're the villains. He is the best rogue, so that's why you get Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face back in the day, and Jack Nicholson is the first Joker.
Terrible.
You get the bigger names because the villains are the main draw for a Batman movie. When you have a Superman sequel, despite the fact that it's Superman and Batman, I hope it's not versus. I still hope it's not a versus film.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to have them fight for the whole movie.
True.
Superman should be the big draw because it's his movie. So that is my problem with casting Ben Affleck. Nothing against him.
I have no problems with it actually.
It's a business decision, I think, from my issue that I have with it. As far as the character and the actor, I'm going to wait to see his performance, just like
Matt Damon!
Anything else.
Matt Damon.
He actually came out and said he's not going to be Robin. I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but he was bald for that sci-fi movie there a couple weeks back.
Elysium.
Elysium, yes. He looks like Lex Luthor, so he could be Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I don't want as much as I love Bryan Cranston and the work he does on Breaking Bad,
I don't want him as Lex Luthor.
He's too old to be Lex Luthor. Yeah. I think it's...
Matt Damon.
No.
Matt Damon all the way.
Matt Damon. Yeah. So there you have it. Everyone on the internet has lost their mind over Ben Affleck unnecessarily.
What's the bigger story, Batman or twerking? Twerking with Miley. That should be the name of our podcast. Twerking with Miley.
No. No, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't. So there you have it, folks. Those are our opinions, thoughts from the week.
That's right.
Our reviews on the spot that we do here for you.
You can follow us on Facebook at the Pendulum Podcast. You can read us on our respective blogs.
Shelf Life of Ragnarok.
And MindMelds at mindmeldshome.tumblr.com.
Check the links below. We'll have them all there for you.
Follow Garry on the Twitters.
At the Ragnarok.
And subscribe to our channel here. We have lots of great episodes.
It's good content coming up.
We just talked about Man of Steel. We've got an episode where we do quite a lengthy review of Man of Steel. Check that one out if you want to know all about it. And Gary's love for that movie.
I do love that movie.
Yeah.
So much so, I will probably buy the Blu-ray before I have a Blu-ray player to play it on.
Well, there you go.
So
look at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out all our links. Check out all our stuff. Subscribe to us. Follow us. Follow us everywhere.
Yeah.
Comment. Send us some hate mail. Send us some good mail. And email.
Show requests. We do that now.
We do that.
We've got some specials coming up. We're going to be filming soon. We've got a Doctor Who roundtable coming up.
That's right. In time for the anniversary special.
Batman in media. We're going to do a little Wolverine special.
Yeah. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. So anyways, that's it for this week.
Bye.